30-40.
Carefully placed, great focus on the ball when he hit it then. Very important point this for Woodforde. Saved one break point. Wipes away.
Second set.
And the two double faults in that game hardly helped Mark Woodforde. He's done a set and a break.
Well, I was just about to say that
I've been talking about it, but what can you do? We'll just take a quick look at the numbers from the studio. First serve percentage 81 from Agassi. All he does with that is he just sets his point up just like he likes it, Peter. So 6-2-1 love. Agassi very much in the driving seat, and second serve points 125%, but he's hardly hit any second serves, so that's fairly redundant. I'll hand you back to Bill Throff.
15.
Well, thank you. I don't know what happened technically there, but I'm sorry if you lost us. And we're seeing this chap struggling, really struggling to come to terms with an Agassi who's in top form. He's being matched for patience by Agassi, and then finally at the end of a long patient rally, Agassi will suddenly explode into action and win the point.
Yes, I think patience is the key word out here today. Sometimes Mark Woodforde can frustrate his opponents. He doesn't give them a lot of pace, works them around the court. But Andre is just one shot better today. There was a real sign there that Mark is losing the mental battle. Trying to play a double-hander off the ground. It's not something he does too often. He usually reserves that for the return or for the pass. And there's something Woodforde probably will have to work on. 45% of first serves. We expect better from him.
Here's Agassi's first serve percentage, almost double that. 81. Well, he's trying to hit with slice. He's tried flat. He hit too long. And for a player, this builds up in your mind. You know, you are bound to start losing confidence in your own ability to hit the ball as you want to, not on the opponent's terms all the time.
Low, 30.
Strongest point so far, and I don't think in my life I have ever seen Andre Agassi play with such patient control. It's very uncharacteristic.
Probably the first 7 or 8 shots of that rally were barely hit with any pace at all.
Well, that's a terrific dismantling of the Australians' game. It really is. Broken to love for the second time.
Agassi leads 3 games to luck.
Wally, it's terribly difficult to fight your way out of the sort of despair that Mark Woodforde must be feeling now.
No, well, this match that we're watching here, it just reeks of Brad Gilbert, if you ask me. I really get the feeling that Gilbert has got inside Agassi's head and had a lot of input, and he has told him you must try to break down the backhand side of Mark Woodforde, something that he's done very well. Woodforde, at the moment, is unsure whether to go with a slice or even play the double-hander. He's very frustrated, and it's so nice to see Agassi, such a great striker of the ball, and when he employs that ball-striking ability with tactical awareness, you really have just a great player on your hands, and it's fun to watch.
Well, it's amazing that this guy can pull himself together for the major event, isn't it? I mean, what's he done this year, apart from his injury, which has put him out for most of the year anyway? In San Jose, reached the semi-final, lost to Greg Wozetsky, and Greg beat him out of sight. Then he went into 4 tournaments, lost in the first round each time. He then played very well. The Davis Cup now is a big deal. He played very well, and he won both his matches against the Netherlands. Then he went into the despair situation again. Came back a bit in Indianapolis, got to the quarterfinals, lost to Mark Woodforde. And here he is in the big one, the biggest one of all, and suddenly he looks like the Agassi of old.
Well, for sure he would have set himself for this one, and he would have been looking at his calendar. He always does enjoy the US Open, so there would have been a real mental focus coming into these 2 weeks that was probably lacking at some of the other events.
Luck. Luck.
Well, his first serve percentage is still up there in the 80s. 81 overall in the match, 83 in this set. And in the set, he's won 100% of first serves in.
30-15.
You'll notice that Andre, even at 30 love there, going for a ball, even though he did miss it, that in itself is all part of his tactic. He's just keeping Woodforde totally off balance.
Game, Agassi. Agassi leads 4 games to 1.
Well, he's just reeling off the games now, Agassi. It's almost like a practice session for him.
Well, that's always the way too. When things aren't quite going your way, we see Mark Woodforde trying to create something different. Maybe missing by ½ an inch. If you're up 6-2 4 love, that ball goes in.
Luck. Let for serve.
Absolutely no problem. From mid-court there, he knows exactly the rate of shot he wants.
15.
He knows
all.
exactly the amount of topspin he wanted on it. The direction was perfect. And that was very nearly good.
30, 15.
Very, very difficult shot, two-handed, high backhand.
Forty, 15. Game, Woodforde.
Well played, Woodforde. That'll do his morale a bit of good. He needed
Agassi
this.
leads 4 games to 1.
So Woodforde finally gets on the scoreboard second round. He's only won 3 games. Agassi leading 4-1. If he'd lost that game, well, yeah, I really think depression might have set in a big way.
Yes, it was one of the few games that he got a couple of cheap points from Andre. And it's really what he does need at this stage now. It's down 6-2, 4-1. He really does need a few freebies. He needs Andre just to come back down a couple of levels, but I can't see it happening at the moment.
You need hope, don't you? You need, and there's an art anyway, of trying to play really good tennis when you're losing badly, and he is losing badly, and there's got to be an art in forcing yourself to sort of try and forget the score and just play point by point.
I guess at the end of the day, there has to be an underlying belief that you can win the match. If you have that, hope springs eternal. There's always a chance, but you almost have to ask yourself in this situation, Mark, looking at Andre just playing so well, does he really deep down believe that he can still win the match? Or is he just trying to eke out a few games here and there and stay with him? It's hard to say.
Well, as regards game plan, I honestly don't know what he can be planning. There's nothing for Agassi to plan. He's just played a beautifully balanced match in every way.
I guess you talk about game plan. Mark has been pretty content to stay at the back of the court. That's obviously not working. You'd almost have to say, well, now maybe throw a little bit of caution to the wind, serve and volley, change it up, chip charge, try to get in for a couple of games at least and just change the pattern of the match.
15, love.
But therein lies the problem. 81% of first serves in during the match.
All.
Well, he sneaked that one in. Could well have gone long because he put quite a lot of backspin on it, and that makes the ball float and float.
Thirty, 15.